The market rockets higher, hitting target after target. Is it time for a rug pull? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that the market was in a breakout and should be pushing towards 4,200 over the next day or so, and that's exactly what we saw. The market pushed up over 4,200 at the close, and now it might be time for a bigger pullback. I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, we were all over this move up, hitting target after target. The people in the room did well, as you can see on the screen. So if you want to be a part of a winning team that understands the market and understood that we were pushing towards 4,200, stay tuned for later in the video. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and we got the breakout yesterday. I said we should probably get a pullback to the 764. What they did, though, is they kind of gave us a wave, kind of a pullback in wave 4 of 3 of 3. It gets a little convoluted there, but then they pushed back up to the 1382 here. So they pushed up to 4182 at the 1382, and once they push up to the next fib, okay, we no longer look for the 764 retrace. We look for the 1.0 retrace, and that's exactly what they did. They retraced it right to the 1.0. and spiked it. We said we should be looking at that time for 4192 in the room today, and we saw that. And then I said once they get through that, we should be coming back and holding 4170. As you can see on the screen, I said that in the room we need to hold 4170, and as long as we do that, we target 4211, which is right up here. And that 4211 number came from the 1-2 setup on this wave 5. We did go over that a little bit, and the 1.0 is 4219 for A and B. So off of this low, A and B, this 1.0 is 4219. So they can push up a little bit higher, but we did hit every target today, including the pullbacks. The people in the room knew what to expect. We knew where the market was headed. We were all over it and did very well with that. So now that we've reached wave 5 here, up toward the 1.0 of A and B, which is where you would expect that to be, as well as the 2.0 of the 1-2 setup, which is 4209, as well as 4211 for the wave 5 setup, we are in the range of a topping area where we would expect a bigger wave B. So how deep would you expect that wave B to go? Well, we have to measure the entire wave A. So we get our fib retracement tool, and we go from the bottom of wave A to the top of wave A, which is currently around, got up to 4211 or so. So we got to go a little higher here. 4215. Okay, and so we would expect the 4136 to 4095 area. Now, the critical level here to me is 4118, and there's a couple reasons. Number one, it is the 618 retrace. Number two, corrective depth theory tells us that the bigger B wave should not go too much lower or lower than the smaller degree B wave, which is slightly lower than the 618. Okay, and then there's a lot of support here. You can see this spike down, this spike down, this spike down. There's a lot of support in this 4118 area. So what we would look for here is a 3-wave move coming down off the high. We would look for a corrective move, which means 3 waves. So an A, B, C type move down into 4118, and then the C wave up toward 4300 plus that we've been talking about since last October. So as long as the bears can defend up here around the 4220 area, it could go a little higher. It doesn't have to stop exactly at 4220. But as long as the bears can defend up here, we would expect a reasonable pullback toward the 4136 to 4118 area. They can go as low as 4095, but again, you'd be breaking this B wave low and a lot of support here. So it'd be unlikely if they break 4118 that they would hold the 764, in my opinion. It doesn't mean they can't. It just means it's unlikely. And then we could see lower after that if they can't hold support. But what we would look for, again, 3-wave move down into support and a move higher after that. Now, if they do extend, they decide to just blow the top off this thing and go direct, then it's possible that A and B were in, and we are going to get a pretty extended C wave here. And we can get the C wave up to about the 1618, potentially even the 2.0, which would put us at 4286 to 4327. So it is still possible they make a direct move, but I do think we need a pullback based on the structure. We got our A, B, we got our 5-wave move up, and typically after that you see the 3-wave corrective move. All right, so over on the NASDAQ, okay, again, we were all over it today. The NASDAQ did not get quite the pullbacks that the ES did, and that's okay. We had the targets. I put the target, you can see on the screen. I told them 13,857 is the target for the NASDAQ, and they spiked just above that. And with that B wave pullback on the ES, we would also expect the wave 4 pullback in a 3-wave move on the NASDAQ down toward the 13,531 area. And those two pullbacks align in size. So when you get that B wave pullback for 300 points on the NASDAQ, that aligns with the 60, 70, 80 point pullback we're looking for on ES. And then we'd look for the next leg higher on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ does target 14,050, but they did spike over the 1618, and they have been giving shallow pullbacks. And the next fib up is 14,386. There's a lot of confluence with that fib. If we zoom out to the 1 day, okay, what we're really looking for is a B wave retrace of the move off of the all-time high. So the move off the all-time high would have been an A wave down, and then the 618 retrace is 14,378. The 2618 fib for this move up is 14,386. There's a lot of confluence right in that area. They're like 8 points apart, 12 points apart, and or 8 points apart. And so we would look for this area to get tagged most commonly on a B wave retrace. So I would not be shocked to see the NASDAQ push up towards 14,400. But the actual target is 14,060 based on the 2.0 extension. But again, they've pushed over the targets for each leg of the NASDAQ. So 14,060 again is the target, but up to 14,386, that 14,400 area for the NASDAQ would not be unreasonable at all. So guys, this is how we get this. The 618 retrace is 14,378 here. On the ES, it's 43 plus, 43.10, I think it is. And that's what you look for a B wave, is the 618. That's a very common target. It's reasonable. And it's the reason that at these lows last October, I said, guys, we should be looking higher to 14,000 plus on the NASDAQ and 4,300 on the ES. And here we are on the, again, doorstep of both of those numbers. So this is how we understand the market. This is how we understand market movement. It's a buyer and seller dynamic. You can't have selling all the time, or there'll be no one to continue to sell to, and you can't have buyers all the time, or there'll be no one to buy from. So this is why you have to have these things. They sold it hard down. No one wants to sell it anymore down here, so you get a squeeze, takes you back up to the 618, and then they get the real selling after that in a C wave to the downside. Okay, so that is what we're looking for on the NASDAQ. The 618 retrace is a very viable target. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans. They both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to become part of the trading team, understand what we're doing, and make sure you love it before you ever spend a penny, and you can cancel at any time. We just started some training material, and our first course is our Elliott Wave for Beginners course, and this does come with both memberships. It's Elliott Wave, the way I teach it and use it, and it can help you understand how I find these targets in the market. As I said, it does come with both memberships, and in our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures his trades. It's so unique. Something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. We also started a challenge account, put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today. It is reasonable to expect a pullback from this level. We have a 5-wave move up, an ABC pattern, and a completion. That pullback should target the 4118 area for the 618 retrace. Below that gets a little sketchy if they can hold support. However, if they do try to jam this directly higher, the next target would be 42.45, and then 42.60, and then 42.86 to, the 42.327 level in a direct type of move. Over on the NASDAQ, again, we would expect a reasonable pullback from here down back to the 1.0, which is at the 13,531 level. We would look for that, and then wave 5 up to the 14,060 to 14,386 area. Again, that 14,386 area is right around the 618 retrace, which would be a perfect target for this B wave. Guys, it's the weekend. Grab yourself a drink, spend some time with your family, have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next week.